Let's talk
Let's
about
go.
it. AEW Full Gear 2023 coming up this Saturday. An absolutely packed show, as many AEW shows tend to be. And a lot of intrigue. Only 9 matches. Thank God, Tony Khan. But I'm sure there's going to be like 8 added on like Rampage.
Yeah, right.
Kenny, just from a high-level view, what do you think about this pay-per-view on a scale of 1 to 10? How excited are you for this event?
So the AEW shows are always good. So I'd say they always start at a 7 at least, and then whatever's on the card kind of fleshes that out. So I'm gonna give it an 8 because I don't know if we'll find out who the devil is. We'll talk about a lot of this stuff, I believe, but I'm gonna say 8 so far.
Yeah, here's the thing, and I will be honest. I am on a scale of 1 to 10 for this show. I am at probably like a 6. And again, I say this knowing full well, this is I'm gonna like come out of this being like, that may have been the greatest pay-per-view I've ever seen. Like, you know, because like it's been the recurring trend.
It's what you can expect these days, yeah.
Exactly. But I'm just like, you know, like I know it's gonna be great. And it's one of those things where I wish that I was more excited, you know? Because I was talking to you earlier, like I almost flew out, you know? And like,
oh, you're not gonna go again?
What?
You're not going again?
No, I'm not going again. But I almost flew out, and this is like not even with the press thing, because like, yeah, AEW Media, hit your boy up. But you know, like usually I'm like really excited. Like I've gone to like the past outside of Wembley, I've gone to every AEW show this year. So like I'm someone who likes to travel for these shows, but this one I was just kind of like, you know, I'm kind of glad I'm not going. Not that like, you know, I don't want to see the matches, but I'm like, you know, it's fine if I miss this.
Right.
And that I think
B-level show. I mean, yeah. It's kind
for
of like
AEW a B-level show, but that's like an A-level for any other company, you know?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, needless to say, build could have been better, but I'm still absolutely hyped for the show. First match we're going to discuss here, 0 Hour for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Oh, yeah, you don't like the Guns, right?
No, I love the Guns, but I don't like the Ring of Honor Championships being on AEW TV. And why is MJF in the first match on the show?
Because he's Mr. Wrestling. This man wrestles. This is actually something I was talking about with another friend. I dug the whole like MJF wrestling at the like beginning of the show and the end of the show for Wembley, because I was like, that tells a story. Like that's part of telling the story, building up to the main event. That's cool. But I'm like, hey man, that's your world champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to save your biggest star, you know, for that huge, like this is the first time we're seeing him. We've been waiting to see him all night. But I mean, you see him early in the night, then you already saw him, you know, it kills that.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, like you can only do that like, you know, they come out twice, like so many times, because like burning a pop, right, is what it's called. Like
that's what Brian was just saying. Yeah, I was just talking to him about it.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. At this current moment, he's got no tag team partner. He's really going solo against the Guns. There's a lot of talking about Samoa Joe being the guy. Samoa Joe's looking at him being like, Max, you could choose me. Samoa Joe, I am from Southern California. like you know, like could be him. I think they're gonna end up doing something like that, and then it's gonna be Joe versus Max at like Winter is Coming or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like I'm just like, I'm not sure what the build is here. You know, I'm kind of confused more so than anything.
So if it's Joe, do they actually keep the titles, or how does that work? Well, do they pin Joe? Because they can't pin Samoa Joe, especially after they did with Keith. What they did with Keith Lee last week.
First of all, that jabroni Austin Gunn is taking the pinfall. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree though. So you think Austin is the jabroni out of the two?
Wait. Okay, I'm about to out myself here. Which one's Austin again?
Come on, man. You don't know the Guns? Austin is the jabroni. He has the blue thing on his head.
No. Okay. He's my favorite. That man is going to be an international champion one day.
Well, Colton Gunn can be a world champion. The guy looks like a champion. Come on, man. He's only like 2 or 3 years in, too.
Look. Okay. I'm not going to lie to the people, all right? You might be fine with that. You might be fine with embellishing. That's great. But I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, man. It's a great. No, you're right. His dad was never a world champ. So I mean, hey, maybe he's here to finish the story. I'm gonna give it to him.
Hell yeah.
Colton Gunn a world champ one day.
Finish the story. This is hashtag your moment.
Let's go.
Mr. Ass. That's Mr. Ass to you. Anyway, let's assume Samoa Joe's the guy. I think MJF and Joe like retain and whatever, and one of them takes it. I don't think they're gonna take the belts off of MJF right now.
Yeah, I guess not, but they need to get him out of here.
Okay,
do they wait for Adam Cole or what?
What's up?
Do they wait for Adam Cole to take the belts off of him, or does MJF finish this match and relinquish the belts like Samoa Joe did?
Ooh, I got like a whole.
Let's go. I want to hear it.
I mean, so my whole thing is, I think that when my whole thing is like it's depending on when a Ring of Honor Final Battle is, because. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm having MJF on that show. Like I don't care. Yeah. I don't care what you got to do. Have that man on that show. It looks like Final Battle is scheduled for December 15th in Garland, Texas. Perfect. All right. So in like a span of 3 weeks, right? You're gonna have Winter's Coming. You're gonna have Final Battle, and then you're gonna have World's End in New York, in Long Island, which is MJF's hometown. My thing is Final Battle. It's going to be MJF going by himself, like for friendship, for the love of Adam Cole, all that stuff. And he's going to lose to the Kingdom. All right?
Oh, the Kingdom.
Damn right, man. the Miracle, Mike Bennett. Come on.
And you know what? I like them now. I'm not going to, they're cool. Especially, I think, I never really liked Roderick Strong, but I think AEW is doing good with him. And, he's helping out those other guys too, so.
The main event of the biggest pay-per-view of all time had Roddy Strong at the end of the ramp going, Adam! I'm like, it still blows my mind. I'm like, of all like the pageantry, and it's like, there's just Roddy Strong just there, like, Adam.
I love it, man.
I think this is like the best work he's done. Like,
yeah, I agree.
In his career, it's absolutely amazing. But you have him lose to the Kingdom. And, like, this kind of starts, like, a bit of a spiral for MJF, right? He barely escapes Samoa Joe at Winter is Coming. And then at World's End in his hometown, I have not figured out who the guy is yet. I will say this because I'm, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, there's, like, eight guys on the roster it could be. I really want it to be Ricky Starks. I don't know how you get there, but I want it to be Ricky Starks because I love Ricky Starks. I think he is... Push him to the moon now, but I'm also like, man, it's probably not gonna be him anyway. But the bigger picture is main event: the Devil costs MJF the title.
Ooh, against Ricky Starks.
Against whoever.
He needs some build, man. He needs some build.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's just your personal
thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
who he loses the belt to, unless it's that jabroni Colton Gunn. But but if he loses the belt in his hometown at his worst, and he finally unmasked the Devil, like he's able to catch the Devil after the match, and he unmasked the Devil, and it's none other than Adam Cole, baby.
Yep,
it's gotta be like the reaction. The reaction. I mean, like, or you could go the route of the Devil unmasked himself, and it's Tony Khan. It was me.
Oh man, they said that last night. No,
it was me. All
it can't. It can't be Tony Khan.
It was. I will stop watching AEW if it's Tony Khan.
Yeah, you know what? That's enough for me.
Like, we jumped the shark here.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. But we were talking about it, and CM Punk posted something about the Devil on his Instagram. So he's kind of teasing, both ways, WWE and AEW. I don't know if he's playing the cards, but people are saying like maybe the whatever was a work. I don't think the Jungle Boy CM Punk thing was a work at all. But what if they figured it out? What if they sat down and had a conversation, and CM Punk is coming back to AEW, and he unmasks himself as the Devil, and then somebody behind him, like one of the other guys, is Jungle Boy. I think that'll be huge for AEW if they can make that work, but I don't know if they can make it work.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's CM Punk, and I don't think it's going to be CM Punk. Given what happened, like this man, like allegedly lunged at Tony Khan and tried to attack him. I'm like
scared for his life.
And here's the thing: people joke about it, right? Like and I get why. But like when I was there in Chicago when he cut that now infamous sit down promo and he talked
you were there?
about I was there right before Collision. Because like there was two things. There was like a promo he cut that was pre-recorded that showed on the live show, but he also like came out before the show started and addressed the live audience. And it was like, and he got real about it. And at first I was like, what is he doing? This is like what's going on here? This is very confusing. And then like as he continued to talk, he was like, literally like I had to make the hardest decision I have ever had to make in my life. It's like this is someone who like loved CM Punk. He loved the shit out of CM Punk. And I think like it did get to a point, right, where he like genuinely felt like his life or his safety, let's say, was in danger. And like you gotta remember, Tony Khan's not a wrestler. Like
right? Yeah, you're right.
He's just a normal guy. Who drinks very hot coffee, by the way. Like and that's a quick aside. Like that man, I was in the media scrum, and this man like is drinking like the smoke that's coming out of this coffee. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? He's just like, guzzling down. He's like, how's your mouth not burned? Anyway,
and he gave somebody his phone.
Bro, this man, that blew me.
I don't know.
This man threw his phone at Brian Alvarez, and I just see like John is one of the AEW media guys go, Tony, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, no, you can go through it. I have nothing on there.
Yeah, because Orange Cassidy said, "Well, you about to give him your phone?" And he was like, "Yeah," and then he actually did it. I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing, man?"
Oh my god. That broke Orange Cassidy. Like that man was head down. Like I can't believe this. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think it's gonna be CM Punk. I could see a universe where it is Jack Perry, and depending on the way they present him, I think that would be a great reintroduction for heel Jack Perry. But I don't know. That's the best part though about this devil thing. There's a lot of different people it could be. And the result's going to be great. That's the best thing about pro wrestling. Yeah, right.
As long as it's not Tony Khan. Yeah, that's the great thing about pro wrestling. Because it was possible. It was me all along.
It was me all along. See. And now, tune in to AEW Dynamite.
Because we're going to have a great match. Rampage on Friday? Like what?
Rampage on Friday, Collision on Saturday, where we're gonna have some of the best wrestlers and Adam Copeland. Whoa!
Oh man, I would turn the TV off and walk away at that point.
I love Tony, but oh my god.
That's
let's continue on and talk about Orange Cassidy, someone we've mentioned a few times on the show so far. Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley for the international title rematch of their absolute classic from All Out this past year. What do you think?
So this one's going to be interesting because we saw what happened versus when Cassidy was facing it was Phoenix, right? And he got injured. Then they put the belt on Phoenix and took it back off of him to put it on Orange Cassidy. So I really don't like the hot potato with the belts like that. So I think Orange Cassidy should keep it this time. So, I know the plan was to put it on Jon Moxley and give him his run, but I don't know if you want to flip the belts back and forward that much. What do you think?
I think like the Rey Fenix thing, right, was like I don't really count that. Not that Rey Fenix doesn't like deserve to be recognized, right? But like I'm like it was like the circumstances were wild. Like Moxley was out, like you got to do something. Like his health is more important than like one title reign. Yeah. But if they were to have Moxley just absolutely beat the piss out of Orange Cassidy and win, and I'm talking about in a route, like a 2-minute match or not a 2-minute match, but a 5-minute match where he just destroys Cassidy. I think that going into whatever the next pay-per-view is, the World's End, there's a lot you can build up to where Orange Cassidy's like, I'm sick and tired of people treating me like a fucking joke. I'm sick and tired of people like saying that I can't wrestle when I do this day in, day out. And I'm sick and tired of Jon Moxley walking around with my belt. Like there's and it's almost like this a reset from like where we were at All Out. Like that's kind of how I'm viewing it. Yeah. I think that you have a chance to do that here. And it might require Cassidy losing. I would have Moxley win. That being said, if Orange Cassidy wins, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, the juice is even more loose now. Let's go.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, though. I mean, you got to think about what's going to happen after Full Gear, and I think that would be a good way to go about it. If they just keep Orange Cassidy chasing after Moxley, like, you beat me twice, you know what? I beat him, but you are the one who keeps beating me. So you give him that match 3, and you can build like a serious Orange Cassidy. I think it'd be cool.
And you could do it where Mox has to cheat to win.
Yeah.
And Orange Cassidy's like, fine. Like, you want to play that way? You, me, final bout, Moxley, Cassidy 3.
Mimosa Mayhem match.
I was gonna say Texas
I'm just
Death,
kidding.
But
no, I'm just kidding.
No, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. I'm down, man.
No.
People really hated that Mimosa Mayhem match.
I didn't hate it.
I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
It was the pandemic, guys. What else were we gonna do?
Yeah, right. I thought it was creative and it was a good way to add something. I like new. So I mean, it was a new match. Chris Jericho does come up with new matches, so I thought it was fine.
Let's make sure, like, let's not give Jericho too much.
He did the Elimination Chamber, right? I think they said he created the Elimination
Money
Chamber.
In the Bank. That was Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, I know it was one of them.
Yeah, he did. He came up with Money in the Bank. Speaking of money, this is a great transition into some news that Tony Khan dropped right before the show went on the air. He dropped a bombshell that has got the wrestling world a-talking. So Tony Khan, I'm just going to read out his tweet. Oh, wow, wait. He dropped another bombshell just now.
Oh, really?
It's official. Kota Ibushi is All Elite.
What?
He just dropped
that's
it.
That's big.
Yeah.
He turned down a WWE contract, right?
Sorry?
He turned down a WWE contract before, right?
He turned down a WWE contract back in like whenever the Cruiserweight Classic was.
Yeah, Cruiserweight Classic time.
And he
that's big. He got him.
This is I'm sorry, Tony Khan with all the bombshells right now, my man.
All right.
So Kota Ibushi is All Elite, but he's not the only one. Before the show went on the air, Tony Khan said the following, quote, AEW has agreed to terms with one of the world's best wrestlers, a pro who is known and respected by virtually every AEW fan. They'll come to LA to sign their contract this Saturday on pay-per-view at Full Gear. And a lot of people are talking and saying that this signing could be
Dolph Ziggler.
Money. No? What?
I'm just kidding.
No, I was going to say money.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
I think it's Mercedes Moné. If it's not Mercedes Moné,
it's going to be bad. If it's not.
Bad. Unless you're like, The Undertaker. I'm like,
yeah, that's
this is gonna be wild. Like,
I'll flip my TV over and go crazy in here.
We're doing it.
You got the Undertaker.
I'm Punisher. But seriously, all signs here point to Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
She was at All In. She was a spectator. She was a guest.
Mm-hmm.
She could be All Elite in LA.
Didn't she just post something saying that she was going to sign somewhere?
I think that was something that was definitely reported that I saw.
Yeah, I saw like a video. She was sitting in the car talking, saying like her injury was like whatever, and she was going to be somewhere big next year or something.
Yep. That 2024 was going to be her year. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. That's a big one for them.
Yo,
that's a pretty big one.
Look, I don't get into the tribalism a lot.
I do.
I'm gonna dip into it. I dip my toes in, like on both sides, because I don't. I got problems with AEW fans or AEW fans on Twitter.
Yeah.
I should say. I want to clear that up. I love AEW fans, but Ayo, could you imagine?
No.
Oh,
no. No.
Oh, wait. I gotta pull it up because this was also something I forgot. I talked about this before.
No, please no.
I'm just saying, like, okay, it could be Mercedes. It
could, yeah.
But Kenny, someone's wrestling in LA the day before at a Revolver show.
Is she?
Oh yeah, she's wrestling with AEW talent Marina Shafir, who she's been training with.
Oh man,
Oh no.
it's possible, man. I mean, she was with Shayna Baszler in WWE, so
look, I don't give a damn about her bad reputation.
I just don't like her. Yeah.
Although I don't agree with any of the shit she says online, it's wild. But I will say this, yo, like I'm still a Ronda Rousey fan. I think if you take away, right, like this latest run in WWE for her was horrible, and I think a lot of that stems from the company. But if you look at the way she was booked, like in her first year, I think she had the best rookie year of any professional wrestler ever.
Logan Paul is going crazy. I don't know.
Man, with his whoopsie ass buckshot, come on, no.
I don't know, man. He went in there and had a good match with Roman. Like nobody, people don't like Logan Paul, but when he gets in there, you really got no choice because
he's a great. Like I will say this, Logan Paul is a great wrestler. He's a very talented wrestler. I
don't know how, but he is.
He's just he's like the living he's like the living, breathing version of like what the Young Bucks embody. Like he's just a troll who's good at everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, except for boxing. But his brother is a way better boxer than he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, so it could be Ronda, it could be Mercedes. Either way, it looks like we're getting a massive women's star in AEW, which hopefully we'll get someone in AEW to book women's wrestling better. Because man, they are just. I did a video on this for another channel, Wrestle Vibes, and I talked about how, like, when was the last time, right? Seriously, think about this. When was the last time you saw a
great channel, by the way? Before we continue, everybody should definitely check it out.
You said it, not me. Appreciate that. Wrestle Bombs also is a great channel, but I spoke about like how when was the last time that you saw an in-ring promo with the women? Really think about it.
The only thing that comes to mind is backstage, like Julia Hart cut one with Malachi Black and the House of Black. And the girls talking to the announcers. I don't remember one in ring.
And that's like part of the issue I have, right? Because I'm like, the thing that like a lot of people, and even Tony Khan himself has said, like, well, like at the end of the day, they're not a draw, and like something else is going to draw better. And I'm just like, bro, that's not fixing the problem. Like, people aren't going to be comfortable. People aren't going to be better at this unless you give them the opportunity to be better, right? And sometimes you got to sacrifice ratings or whatever for that, right? And that's not to say, right, like you can't, like it won't be successful, because a big part of wrestling, I think, is especially for people watching at home, is seeing how people connect to the live crowd. Yeah, because you're more likely, if you're sitting at home and if the live crowd is really into something, even if you hate what's going on, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah. Like I'm not a big Logan Paul fan, but when like everyone's going crazy and they're piping in all the crowd noise, I'm just like, let's go. Let's go.
It makes it look like they're stars, just like they're supposed to on TV. So
I will say, I've been to shows where Dominic Mysterio is cutting a promo. That man gets booed out of the damn building every time. Really? People really hate him.
Dirty Dom.
Anyway, that was an aside. What do you think though? Like, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. Like Mercedes or Ronda.
I think it's definitely going to be Mercedes. I mean, it really only makes sense. Ronda, I didn't even think about it, but I'm not even going to will that into existence. So I'm just hoping it's Mercedes. But if it is Mercedes, I mean, she can't wrestle until next year unless she's kind of pumping fake and the injury's fine.
She don't need to wrestle for like
she's going to just come out and cut promos.
Cut promo.
She's not a good promo. It might be controversial. I don't know if it is or not, but Sasha Banks or Mercedes is not a good promo. When it comes to Bayley, Becky, who are the rest of them? Charlotte, Sasha's at the bottom when it comes to promos.
Charlotte.
I mean, Charlotte's probably number 3, but
I'm gonna start.
Sasha's definitely number 4.
I'm gonna start like keeping a list of stuff we got to debate about, because you and I,
it's
gonna be some fun ass conversations, guys.
For sure.
Debate coming to you soon. YouTube.com/WrestleBomb. We got Chase in the chat saying Marina Shafir will get a huge push immediately if that happens. Hey,
yeah, true.
Get your bag, Marina. Like, don't let them tell you you can't. Get your bag. Get your girl in there. Get your bag and go. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of being all for it, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are all in as a tag team. Not something I thought I'd say. But they're going up against the Young Bucks. And it's a very interesting stipulation here, Kenny. If Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho lose, they can never tag together ever again. If the Young Bucks lose, they lose their AEW World Tag Team title shot that they got at WrestleDream that they haven't used yet. And now other tag teams are getting a title shot, which makes me think, why did they even,
You know what? We'll just do this instead.
Let's not overcomplicate this with logic. What do you think about this match and the dynamic here between like the Elite and Jericho?
I mean, I don't get it. I don't know where this came from because it seems like Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho were feuding with the Don Callis and everybody, and then the Young Bucks just came in out of nowhere, and now they're having this match. So I don't even know where this came from. I must be blinked and missed something, but
I think it's like one of those weird things where it's like they're calling back to like the original, like the inception of AEW, because like what ended the first AEW show? It was Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle beating the absolute crap out of the Elite, right? So I think maybe like the way they're telling the story, it's like in the Young Bucks' mind, that like they still hate Jericho, and that never changed.
Why are you being friends with him?
Exactly. It's like when your boy's hanging out with someone like you don't like it. Like you actually like him. Like what's going on here?
We never seen Kenny Omega against the Young Bucks in any way in AEW, have we?
No, not in AEW. They had him and Kota Ibushi have wrestled him in New Japan, and honestly, like people ask me all the time about like, man, like I need to find like these New Japan matches. I'm like, bro, if you watch New Japan, like even a little bit, if you watch Kenny Omega versus Okada, you're like you're gonna never be able to go back to like any other wrestling. You're just gonna be like, damn, this is all weak. But yeah, no, like it is an interesting dynamic. I think like the biggest thing here is like I don't think they're gonna have Omega and Jericho lose because I don't think they're done yet as a tag team. I think there's more to do. Like the Young Bucks can always get another title shot. They're probably gonna get one like a month, so it's not gonna matter. But
the only way I see it happening is they just signed Kota Ibushi, so I would just see them turning on Chris Jericho and him coming out and joining up with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and Chris Jericho has to find another team or whatever. Now he's lost again. I think that's the only way they lose.
Yeah, we got Juggernaut in the chat bringing up a good point. I don't see the Young Bucks losing around their hometown. Maybe, but here's the thing. If the Young Bucks lose and they beat the crap out of Kenny Omega and Jericho afterwards and solidify themselves as heels, it adds an interesting element. I don't know if it tells the story, but it adds an interesting element here.
Yeah, it just depends on where they go from there. Well, so who do you got in the end? Who do you think's going to take it?
I think Jericho and Omega. I just don't think they're done as a tag team.
Yeah, I agree.
Alrighty. Moving on. We got, let's go. This is, look, this match, this storyline has captivated me for the past 3 months. People say AEW can't tell stories. No, go watch this. This man, Swerve Strickland. This man broke into Hangman's house.
Broke in his house.
That was wild. He breaks into Hangman's house and he cuts a promo on his 2-year-old child.
Over the crib.
Leaves him a shirt. My man said here's some merch. and then Prince Nana, like my favorite thing about that whole thing was Prince Nana in the background, like, boss, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Cops are coming. But needless to say, things got very personal between these two. Hangman Page, as we talked about earlier, it got very personal with Swerve. They had an absolutely epic match at WrestleDream. And I think they're going to follow it up with an absolutely insane Texas death match in LA. What do you think, Kenny?
Yeah, this is going to be a good match. Again, the build, like we talk about the build in AEW, but this is one they actually stuck with, and I think they did this one right because I want to see them fight again. And you know what? I think it'll be good for if Swerve did win this and then he moved forward, takes him to the next level. But I think they could keep this one going. Being that he already went up in Hangman's house, Hangman can't lose because where do you go from there?
You can't.
This man was in your house. You got to get the win.
Hangman 2 weeks ago, put this man through a table and said, "I will kill you."
Yeah,
he's not.
You're not going to be able to hang around your kids, your grandkids, or whatever. You will, but you'll be in a wheelchair. You can't walk or something like.
I'm not gonna lie. That was a wild ass promo when he was like,
"It was wild."
He was like, "Every November, I'm gonna walk hand in hand with my son." Just to piss on your grave. I was like, yo.
Oh, I was like, ooh, come on, man. Hangman Page, man. That's a fire promo. You got to give it to the man. He's good.
He is Hangman at his best is the best babyface in all of
Yes,
wrestling.
I agree.
I
agree.
Man. I still think back to the story they were telling the first year and the 2 years actually of AEW. With him. It is gonna go down as some of the most just insanely entertaining pro wrestling you will ever see. It is.
They're on fire back then.
Yeah. I mean, they're on fire now, but
but a lot of wrestlers can't pull off the babyface character, and I think he's one who I won't ever sit back there Hangman needs to be a heel. Maybe we'll get there one day, but I think he's actually one of the wrestlers who can actually pull off the babyface thing with that fire. So
yeah, someone tried to tell me they're like, we need to have Hangman Page do a feud with Clark Connors to see who the real cowboy is, and I was like, Clark Connors.
Who is Clark Connors? I don't even know who that is.
So Clark Connors is a guy in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
He's basically he's done a few.
Oh, I see him. Okay.
Yeah. He's done a few Forbidden Door shows. I call him Hangman Adam Beige. I'm like, bro,
is he American or what is he like?
He's American. He's he's just a bootleg Hangman, which I'm sure people are gonna hate me for saying, but I've been saying it for a while. Love you, Clark Connors. You are a great wrestler, but I'm like, I got.
He's got a good look. I never seen him work before.
It's like he's a balding Hangman, bro. Come on,
Oh, I must be looking at some young pictures then.
Oh, you're looking at you're looking at some young. He's 30 now.
Oh, okay.
What was that line? Is that guys it's like, how old are you? Nah, you at least 30. Big shout out to Will Smith. Anyway, what are we talking about? Wrestling. It's a wrestling show.
Yeah, wrestling. Yeah.
All right, Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland. You think Hangman's gonna win?
Yeah, Hangman's got to take it. Swerve went in his house. He can't. Yeah, you can't lose this one.
Whose house?
Whose house?
Whose house? Swerve's house. You can't. Nah, you can't. Hangman Page has got to win this.
Yeah, he's got to win it.
It's gonna be a tragedy. Here we go. Talk about fire matches. Julia Hart versus Chris Statlander versus now confirmed Sky Blue.
Oh, she's in it too?
Yeah.
Oh, the winner of Chris. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's what happened.
That's what happened tonight.
We went full circle.
There we go. Yeah.
Look at that. The power of just not knowing shit. Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, and Sky Blue for Statlander's TBS championship. Statlander's held the belt since May, since she beat Jade Cargill. I think she's been a great champion. I don't think she's been given all the opportunities to highlight that.
I was about to say, yeah, they didn't really showcase her. They don't showcase her in the best way. And on Collision, her promo, she doesn't sound confident in her promo either. So I don't know if that's why they're not giving her the spots, but
it's gotta. For me, I'm just like, you just gotta let her do it. Just let her do it.
That's how you learn.
No one's gonna be able to because here's the thing. If you've ever been a fan at a wrestling show, in attendance, when something comes up on the screen, yeah, you're watching it, but you're not I gotta watch this. You're on your phone. You're whatever. You're gonna go get some food, whatever. Because you're taught to view the ring as the most important thing. If something's happening in the ring, I'm watching it.
Right.
It's not. It's on there. I'm like, okay, it's just TV. I didn't come here to watch TV. I came here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So like that's why I say like the in the ring stuff, even if it's on the ramp, it's important because like people got to be able to see you, people got to be able to connect with you. Like that's why they're there. Like, and I think like even if let's assume she's not a good promo, which I don't know. Like I genuinely don't because she's never cut a promo.
They don't give it a chance. Yeah.
Even if she's not, man, there's still a chance that the fans are gonna connect with her because like it's happened. Like Brock Lesnar in his original run was not a great promo, but
Titus
the fans
O'Neil
like,
make it a win.
Mm-hmm. Fans are just like this guy's a badass. I like him.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, do we think Statlander loses here?
I think so. I think they put Sky Blue in the match for a reason, and I think either they're gonna hit us with a double swerve where we saw she wasn't teamed with Julia Hart, but she still got the stuff on her eyes and playing that kind of dark character, not very well, but she's still playing into it. I think something could happen where it's like a double swerve, and maybe Sky Blue ends up laying for Julia Hart or something like that. That protects Chris Statlander, and they make it where that feud can keep going on. So I don't think they added Sky Blue in this match for nothing. I think some trickery is going down. Love Julia Hart's hat too.
That's a nice. It's a nice hat.
The red glowing. Like I don't know how they do it, but it's crazy.
It's like, I like that hat. Shout out to Jake Hager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that hat. I think Julia Hart wins this, but I don't think she pins Stat. I think she pins Sky Blue clean with like Stat like literally just missing her by a hair. And like that way you can build up to a rematch between Julia Hart and Chris Statlander, who, by the way, absolutely killed it at Wrestle Dream last month. Like, I don't know if I got a chance to talk about that on the channel yet. Like watching that match live, I was like, the crowd was so into it. Like it was
Statlander and Julia.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good match. I wish they let them two go one-on-one again this time and just did a clean finish or whatever. But they impressed. Like I was expecting it to be a good match, but it was a lot better than I expected it to be. That's why I like Julia Hart, man. She like her progression just from when she came in, just so good now.
And I love the fact that when she was like watching the match backstage, she was like in full goth mode. She had the lights off.
Like she's playing
like,
it.
Her like nails just like plotting it. I was like, let's go.
Full turnaround from that cheerleader character. She found something and made it work.
I'm so sorry. I love look. I love me some Brian Pillman Jr., some Griff Garrison, but like it was time.
It was time.
I still like make fun of. I get like so much crap for like my Brian Pillman impersonation because I love Brian Pillman Jr. Like Mazel, like, big love to you, my guy. But he didn't when he was going up with MJF on promos. It was not like they were not doing him no favors. Like my man was out there. JR, he did a sit down interview with JR, and JR literally just goes like, "Well, hey Brian, you know a lot of people think you're gonna get your ass kicked here, pal." And that was the question. I'm like, JR, you're not putting the kid over.
Yeah, you're not even give him a chance.
Like, JR's like, I'm old. I'm gonna bury people now. Putting them over for too damn long. They ain't that good. That went away. Anyway, what else we got to talk about? We got AEW World Tag Team titles on the line. Oh, that went away. We got the House of Black versus the AEW Tag Team Champions the former AEW Tag Team Champions FTR versus the current AEW Tag Team Champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill Double B versus LFI. This is I'm gonna say it right now. This match is gonna slap. We all know the result.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on, wait. You said we know the result. What's the result? Them retaining?
They gonna retain.
I think they're like a makeshift tag team, though. You don't think so?
I think they were, but over time, like they kind of have a reason to be together now. Like it all stems back to this promo that Ricky Starks cut on the Collision before All Out, where he was like, you know what Bill and I have in common? Like we're both rejects who keep clawing and fighting our way back from the bottom. And like he talked about like his drug addiction and the problem that he's had in the past. Like it was a very like passionate problem. It was like, and that's why I ride with him, and that's why he rides with me. And I was like, okay, so y'all have a reason to be together. And and again, it's like one of those things. Like I don't know, it weirdly works for me. Like because I believe Ricky Starks like, yeah, Bill, get him. Like,
yeah, you're right. The dynamic does make sense. I just wish they were like together for a lot longer before we saw them with the belt. So, you know what? I guess if this is what they're going to run with, then I can definitely understand. I don't think FTR needs the championships. They could put them in a story on the side, just like they do with the Young Bucks without them having the belts. But House of Black, where's is Buddy Matthews injured or what's going on with him?
Well, I think, you know, like, look, we don't need Buddy right now. We're just
so
like,
it's
just me and the big man. Like Malachi's like, look,
right
me and the big man got this. We did the trios thing. You were great, buddy.
Yeah.
Gonna get these belts now. We're gonna get the tag team belts. Bit of a reset for House of Black. Can I ask you real quick?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about House of Black?
I thought they had all the potential in the world. I like them together as a collective, but it just seems like for whatever reason, it's just not. They can't get them where they need to be. I think Malachi Black needs to be like a top single star. And even if he's in the House of Black, you put Buddy Matthews and Brody King together and let them do their thing as a tag team. And then you got Julia Hart doing her thing in the women's division. I just think it's bad right now, the way they got them positioned on the show. So, I mean, all of the guys are really good, but they're just not clicking with them.
It's so wild how insanely great the introduction of Malachi Black was when he first got to AEW, and how there was never any follow-up to it.
Yep.
Like never. Like they just he beat Cody Rhodes clean. Like,
yeah.
And he was a world beater. And
it
was just like, now I am in the darkness and we shall shine the light. And then he was in that feud with Pac where he got blinded and he was like, oh, Malachi Black, I can see clearly now that you blinded me. Like bro, like what are we doing? Like okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
When's it coming? I'm like, when is, like, it's one of those things where you waited so long for like, okay, when's the payoff coming? It's gonna happen. And now you're like, oh, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Is it too late?
I think it might be. It's never too late because like they're so talented, you could do it. But I'm just like, it's never gonna hit the same.
Yeah, I think the issue is Tony Khan. Like he has this guy like MJF right now. The plan is to have the title on MJF, and he just doesn't have the lineup of guys behind MJF who's gonna, I'll face you for the title next and next. And Malachi Black could have definitely been one of those guys, but
I don't even think it's like, he needs to win the world title.
Right.
Like,
he doesn't.
He can challenge. Right. That's the whole point of building up a big heel. You challenge for the world title and you end up losing, but you're still like a strong heel. Or you go for, there's the TNT title. There's the damn TBS. There's so many titles in AEW, bro. The man couldn't win one.
Couldn't win any of them.
They just threw him like, hey, yo, here's the trios title. Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? No. Oh, it's crazy. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe they win, and then the House of Black all got gold, except for Buddy. Poor Buddy.
Are there contracts coming up in 24? Do you know?
So, to my knowledge, I think Malachi's won't, because he signed like a 5-year deal back when he signed with the company, and AEW is gonna add like the 6 months or whatever that he was out.
Injured,
yeah. So like it's gonna be. He's there. He's there, man.
Yeah, he's there.
Hey, all right. Big shout out to him. He's probably making a lot of money though.
Yeah, he probably is. But I mean, Father Time. I mean, if he's going to be a big star, how old is he now? Do you know?
I think he's like 38.
Oh yeah,
Let's see. Did I get that? Was that too accurate there? Yeah, 38. Look at that.
38.
Boom. Didn't even need to. Look at all the random ass knowledge I keep in this noggin. Let's go.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, that time's coming. So hopefully he can go maybe to WWE or whatever and get a good run. Cause I don't know if it's going to happen in AEW.
Man, could you imagine he comes back and he's like, I am the Dark Father. No, you already did this.
Oh yeah, don't do the knock on the door thing.
No, like no, we don't need that. We don't need Dracula Blade.
But he's a Triple H guy though, right? So I mean, if he goes over there, I'm sure they'll handle him well.
Yep. Moving on, we have 3-on-3 action. The Patriarchy, which is absolute amazing name for this trio.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Young Buck Nick Wayne versus Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, and Sting in a trios match. Adam Copeland's in AEW.
Adam Copeland is in AEW.
What have you thought about it so far?
So far, I mean, I thought it was going really good. I think they did the match too quick or whatever, where he just says, "I'm not touching Christian. I'm not touching Christian." Just on one random show. All right, the match is on. I thought they kind of got there too quick, but I think you know what? If what I'm hoping is true, then it could end up really good. But what I want to see is true. So here's what I want to see in this match. You know, I hope Edge and Christian. Well. Adam Copeland and Christian don't touch each other. My bad. Adam Copeland and
Tony
Christian
Khan will
Cage.
yell at you in press conferences if you say
Really?
all the match.
So I want to see those two not touch each other in this match. Let them fight everybody else on the other teams. And the match ends when Edge hits Sting with a spear. Adam Copeland hits Sting with the spear, stands over Sting as Christian gets the pin. Now Adam Copeland is on this super team with Christian and Nick Gage and all of those. That's the way I want to see it end up, but
Nick Gage, he's going to come in with
Cage.
Really
got too many cages.
I'm going to kill you, Sting.
Really got too many Nick Cages or cages already. So
too many Nicks.
That's the way I would like to see it go, but I think it's going to end up with Team Edge getting the win.
Yeah, I think Copeland pins Nick Wayne is what's gonna happen here. Like, if we're being honest, right?
Man,
yeah, I know, but it's gonna happen. But
man, Edge beat Christian. Yeah, I can say that. Edge beat Christian their whole career, man. I think it's Christian's on the best run right now. It's time for things to turn around, and I think Christian needs to get the win here.
Can I give you my hot take?
Yeah.
All around wrestler, like everything that goes into it, Christian is better than Edge.
I agree, and I thought he always was. Like, even the flash photography stuff, I was always a Christian fan. Until he left WWE, I didn't follow him in TNA, but, I mean, I was always a Christian guy.
It is, if you look at, like, every single facet, like, in the ring, Christian is better.
Yep.
On promos, Christian is way better. Like, the only thing that Edge might have over Christian is just sheer, like, vibes.
Yeah.
That's about it. But, like, Christian, when he's allowed to do, like, his thing... Bro, if you go watch the stuff he did in TNA with the Christians Coalition, and him, AJ Styles, and Tomko, it is some of the wildest stuff. Like, he was like the best heel in wrestling in 2006. And like it was just like, it was a revelation to a lot of people who like hadn't been like, who were just like, oh yeah, Christian, he's just another guy. But
right.
It's great.
Yeah. And you see that now too. They're just letting him go. They let him go with his aura. You know, he got the turtleneck and everything coming on out. So I think he's putting out that star power now too. So,
yo, he checked me in that press conference, by the way.
Oh yeah, he said what? Like when you said Real Take Wrestling, he said, "What is it?
Name,
what,
bro?" Like, damn right. It's like,
I was like, he's about to get him.
But once he's about to go cut a promo on me, like, let's go. At least he didn't make me carry his belt like MJF. Anyway, I think that Adam Copeland's going to win. I think the end game here, right, whenever it is, 6 months, whatever from now, it's going to be Luchasaurus. It's going to be exactly what Adam Copeland said was going to happen. Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne are going to turn their backs on Christian Cage at his weakest, when he loses the TNT title, when like they have no more use for him. And the only person who's going to be there by his side, the only person he hasn't alienated, is going to be Adam Copeland, because that's his brother at the end of the day. And we're going to get one final run. Adam Copeland, Christian together. They're going to face the Hardys, and Jeff Hardy's going to like do something mildly insane and probably like be injured for the next 6 months. Yeah. And then they're going to bring in the Dudleys and then Devon's going to like...
No, it's too late.
Wrestle. That's the issue. That's
they
issue.
can't.
Devon can't wrestle. Like, my man... Big shout out to him. He tried, but I'm like, bro, you had a stroke. You should not be in the ring.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't. Right. But yeah, I wanted to see the turn, because I would like to see Sting's last match be against Adam Copeland. So I wanted to see them build against that. But, if that's not the case, then yeah, we can just keep going down this road. Who do you think Sting's last match will be against?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair? No, man, we can't do it. We cannot do that.
Look, Ric Flair's gonna. Sting ain't the only thing that's leaving.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's gonna leave this world at Revolution.
Yeah, if he goes in that ring, I think he sure is.
I don't know if you watched Ric Flair's last match. Which,
I saw some clips of it, man. It was bad.
Storm right now. He's like, look, I never said that was my last match, but you are such a worker.
Right. He doesn't need to get back in there.
But I think his last match should be with Darby Allin, in all seriousness.
The Sting versus Darby?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it would give Darby that boost, but honestly, I don't know how long Darby's going to be doing this because he is killing himself out there. Those spots he did with Christian in the last pay-per-view.
I've never seen someone just so willing to destroy themselves.
Just destroy yourself. Yeah.
He got he walked up into the press conference afterwards in a sling, and Tony Khan's like, "What happened to you?" It was the stairs. And then Darby just goes like, "I also chipped a nail." And I'm like, this man.
Oh man. He's
man,
insane. You saw him with the injured arm doing that stuff. It was like a bike show or something where he was doing flips on the thing. You didn't see that?
Yeah. When he was not motocross, what it called?
I don't know what it was.
The fucking I saw that. It's
crazy.
You know what else is crazy?
Ooh.
His match is about to look. We don't need a build for
a don't need one.
Tony Storm. All we need is Tony Storm in black. I love the fact that Tony Storm, whenever she's on TV, is just in black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
It's so
even
funny.
On Dynamite tonight, it was in color, and when they opened the door, it turned black and white, and then they closed it back and went back to color.
Luther, man, bro, I'm glad they found something for Luther.
Yeah.
It's so Tony Storm versus Hikaru Shida, AEW World Championship on the line. These two are probably going to have a great match. But this is I think the one match on this pay-per-view where you're just like, either of these two could win. Because you got Tony, who's doing her thing, getting over this Hollywood starlet gimmick. And we're in Hollywood. We're in LA.
Yeah.
But then you also have Hikaru Shida, who is just the greatest.
You think so? I think they're too hot and cold with her. When she was the AEW Women's Champion the first time, she was hot. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, she's the Women's Champion. That's cool. Then they cooled her down, and then they put the belt back on her out of nowhere. Then they took it off again. Now it's back on her. So I think she needs it more than Toni Storm does this match to cement herself as not a transitional champion.
Man, you made a damn great point. I can't even argue with it. All I will say is maybe it makes too much sense, right? Maybe it's just that's the thing, Tony LA. Maybe could lose, and it should be delusional Hollywood starlet. I cannot believe I lost. What for the year?
I don't think it would hurt her. Yeah, and she doesn't need the championship right now because her character's so good. But I mean, she could definitely use it. I mean, I guess they could build more onto her character if she had it. So I really don't care who wins this match. I like Toni Storm as the better wrestler right now, but in order for long-term booking and protection of Hikaru Shida, I think she kind of needs it more.
Let's say Hikaru Shida wins,
mm-hmm.
and we see Mercedes Moné just walk out. I'm not gonna say that I would scream like a 12-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a possibility that would happen because I'd be losing my shit. Shida versus Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, and I think I think that's the way to go. And if you're going to put Mercedes Moné in the women's championship match, I think she needs to be there with an established women's champion. And right now, that would be Hikaru Shida, not a new Toni Storm as a champion. So, and like you said, the match would be real good too. So. I think that's the way you go with this. Spin Toni Storm off somewhere else. She'll be fine regardless.
Big shout out to Chase in the chat. Says it's great to have two women's matches on a card.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's great.
Good women too. They're doing some good stuff.
Stars.
Yeah.
Absolute stars. Guys, We're heading down the home stretch. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/WrestleBomb every Tuesday nights at 8 p.m.?
8 to 8:15.
Every Tuesday night at
every
8
Tuesday night
p.m. We got the WGC podcast hosted in part by the wonderful man joining me today, Kenny Baum from WrestleBomb. It's always great to have you on the show.
Appreciate you again.
We got one final match to talk about, and it is for the most prestigious prize in this business.
My God, Omer, it's the AEW Championship.
JR is just like my favorite call of JR is just like him going like, Triple H, God damn you.
Yeah.
Right here in Texas.
He went crazy on that show.
Yo,
Yeah.
he was like, right here in Texas. MJF, Jay White, AEW World Title on the line, Los Angeles, the fabulous Kia Forum. They've been building this since even before WrestleDream. This has been going on for a while. MJF has not held that belt in months, and he has a chance to get it back here against a Switchblade, who, by the way, does have a pinfall victory over MJF in the lead up to this.
Yep.
You let me know, Kenny. Was it a mirage, or is it a sign of what's about to happen and new AEW World Champion?
Definitely a mirage. No way Jay White takes this one. We're definitely going to get that big triumphant moment where MJF gets his belt back, holds it up for the crowd. He's everybody's scumbag. Maybe the lights go out and the devil hits the ring. But is the devil revealed at that time? That's the big question.
That's a great question. Maybe the devil... I mean, I agree with you. Like, MJF wins, lol. But also, I think, like, these two are going to have a great match. And
oh, yeah, no question about it.
There's going to be a point in this match where I'm just like, oh, Jay White's going to win. Because, like, that's, like, part of the magic
That's
of
what they do. Yeah, part of the magic
of wrestling. Like, you're just like, oh, wow, it's actually happening. Oh,
yeah.
No. and I'm ready for it.
Yeah. And I'd say that's one thing about MJF. When he first came in, I was like, yeah, this guy's a great promo, but his ring work, it's okay. But now he's going in there every time putting on great matches. So shout out to him in the progression.
This man got a headlock takeover, a missile drop kick or whatever, and a double clothesline over. MJF, like. You can look, Roman is great. MJF is just the best at this now.
Yeah, the whole package, everything together.
He is the best. And if he were in WWE today, he'd be bigger than Roman.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think they'd water him down too much.
The thing about MJF is he doesn't need to be doing like the low-hanging fruit stuff, like even the cursing at all, like to be MJF. Like he can do it without it. He is just, honestly, just a bit of a filthy potty mouth. If we're being honest. He's allowed to be it. He'll do it. But I just think like he's just once in a generational is like the best way I can describe it, because he's just put all of this together like so quickly. Like think of the matches he's had this year. Like he wrestled Bryan Danielson in what I think is the best Iron Man match ever happened. Yes, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels.
Ever of all time? Ooh,
most overrated Iron Man, most overrated match of all time. I'm sorry. Bret versus Shawn at WrestleMania 12 sucked. That was not a good match. It's a headline city. Go back and watch it.
I'd have to go back and watch it because I didn't watch it in a long time. But, I know back then it was like, man, I was a kid watching. I didn't watch this when I was a kid. I was like, this is a long match, but,
Hey, look, it's a long match where nothing happened.
Yeah. I used to just watch for the result. Like, my favorite wrestler, is he going to win or not? So I didn't really know about great matches back then. It was just all about who was going to get the win. But I have to go back and watch it, so I can't even argue with you.
I remember the first time I watched it, I was like 10 years old, and I was like, damn, when are they going to, like, start doing stuff?
Yeah.
I was like 10 years old. Like, I noticed it. But no. But, like, he wrestled Bryan in one of the best matches of the year. Yeah. He wrestled Adam Cole, the biggest wrestling show of all time.
Yeah.
Like in like, we call it a storyline match, but it was a absolutely insane match. He wrestled Sonata, which everyone seems to forget about, Forbidden Door. Like this man has had a wild year in wrestling and has put on like show after show, wrestling Samoa Joe in a classic. I think that pound for pound this year, like this is, if we're talking about all around like performer wrestler, it's the year of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And he like,
I agree. Yeah. I would agree with that 100%.
Like, that's not a shot at Roman, but Roman has, you know how many matches Roman's wrestled this year? 11,
right?
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
Bro,
that's insane.
I love that for him, though. My man just like,
yeah, shout out to him. He must have got that 12 match deal.
It's like, this is how Brock felt all those years.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think Roman put enough work in to get that. Because when did he really catch fire with the head of the table stuff? Was that during the pandemic?
It was like, it was like the last 6 months of the pandemic was when he like won the belt. I don't think he really caught fire until like the roots of it were like that Bryan Edge Roman match at WrestleMania 37, I think it was. And like that was when like that visual, I got what they were doing, like that visual of him pinning both Bryan and Edge.
Guys, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, they're doing it. Like this is God mode Roman Reigns.
For me, that was like, man, turn this off. What are they like? I didn't like it because I didn't like Roman Reigns since all of the big dog stuff just leading up to that. I was just never a fan.
But this felt different. Like this genuinely felt different. Like when they did it, because like before it was like, I'm the big dog in the big yard, and I beat the Undertaker, and that's my yard. Like, like, you know, like
succotash.
But now, like but this time he had some bass in his voice. Like, it's me, Paul. Tell him, like, you know, like I was like, okay. And then like, you know, like the bloodline stuff just took it to a whole new level. I think the storytelling that himself, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn told, like within like the span of like whatever that was that year. Is some like literally probably the best storytelling in wrestling history.
Oh man, here you go, wrestling history again.
I'm
attitude era, man. I'm an attitude. I can never be taken away from the attitude era. Best storytelling was Stone Cold and Vince.
Attitude era to slap.
Stone Cold versus Vince.
That wasn't a storyline. That was a feud.
Okay, that's the storyline. The whole thing, Stone Cold.
Which part was impeccable television? Stone Cold sticking a damn thermometer up Vince's butt,
making him pee himself, hitting him in the head with the bedpan. Stone Cold versus The Rock, where Stone Cold or The Rock threw the belt over the bridge, threw Stone Cold down there. The Undertaker versus Stone Cold. It was me all along, hanging Stone Cold from the symbol. All of these great storylines, man. Come on, you're gonna say the Bloodline?
I genuinely think that this is dead ass. I've done videos about this. Were you an Attitude Era kid, or where did you start? I started watching. So I've always wrestling's always been on in my house because my brother used to watch it, but I didn't start really paying attention until 2003, and I was like 6. That was kind of Ruthless Aggression, right? Yep. Yeah. See, man, you missed them, and you missed it during the days. I did, but I've watched it all. Okay, I understand then. I understand the Bloodline take. Look, I understand if you watched it back, but when you were there live that night, like trying to stay up late because you got to go to bed for school, watching these things with the Undertaker cutting his wrist, and it was crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, but I will say, like, it's also like me because I'm like, I like the whole, like, you know, I also, I guess for me personally, I like, you know, the more like, okay, how does like the story like connect these characters type of thing, like, you know, like like the Attitude Era, what had an appeal, and it's honestly just a different appeal from like what I prefer. Yeah. Right. And I recognize that. It doesn't mean that like what The Rock was doing was trash. Right. It's just it's just like, I think preference. Right. But I just think, man, like the way they built it up, like by the time you got to the Royal Rumble, like, or right after Royal Rumble, the fact that Sami Zayn, we all wanted Sami Zayn to win that belt. Everyone was like on their feet saying it's Sammy's time. I just knew it wasn't going to happen, though. We all knew it was going to happen. Yeah, but you still wanted it. Like, there's still that possibility. It's wrestling, yeah. That's like, there's a possibility, like, come on. But the fact that they were able to do that, and then, like, even getting Jey Uso into a position where it's like, it's Jay's time. And, like, I still maintain this. the main character of the Bloodline storyline until they ruined it at SummerSlam was always Jey Uso. Because it all centered around Jey Uso and his struggle with his abusive cousin, Roman Reigns. It is...
Yeah.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with Full Gear. I don't know how we got here. My bad.
Yeah, we did go up on the rails, but... talking about MJF's how great he is, though. So, yeah, it makes sense. But I think MJF is definitely the best all-around when it comes to wrestler in-ring. But Roman Reigns just has that aura that makes him the guy.
Yep. Last few chats here. We got Chase saying, too bad we didn't get the person behind the devil mask on Dynamite. Hope we get him to appear at Full Gear. I think the devil will be at Full Gear. I don't think it's going to be revealed, though. I think it's too early for that. You
think World's End?
I think MJF's hometown. They're just gonna I don't think he's just gonna lose the belt. I think there's gonna be the big reveal there too.
Are you going to World's End?
Probably, yeah. I think I'm
gonna go out
whether
there
or not
too,
I get media, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's New York. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's Long Island.
Oh, you said that's where you're from, right?
Sorry?
You're from New York, right?
No, I'm from DC.
Oh, you're in DC. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a 3-hour train ride,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we'll make it up. I like the city.
Man, I just hope it's not snowing.
You would tell me that. You're like, yo,
yeah, that's the only thing that would hold me back.
It's like, look, I don't like snow. I don't like the cold.
No, I don't care about it. But I'm from South Carolina and it doesn't snow here, so I don't know how I'd be driving in the snow. Because when it snows here, they shut everything down, and we only get it once every 6 years.
Man's like, yeah, I got to go to Myrtle Beach. Is that a thing? Do people from South Carolina actually go to Myrtle Beach, or is that?
It's a nice. If you going on a little quick, want to get away from home, it's nice to go to Myrtle Beach. They got some good restaurants, seafood and stuff up there if you like it. But I mean, I got a beach. There's a few beaches close to us, so I'm in Charleston.
I own a few beaches,
No.
Just look. Mark Cuban invested in some of my stuff a while back. Anyway, we've gone through the card. We've wrapped through this. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Kenny, any final thoughts? Full Gear, AEW, wrestling, anything you want to share?
No final thoughts. I mean, I think it's going to be a great show. Do you do watch-alongs?
Not anymore because I don't got the energy for that no more.
Got it. All right, so we'll be doing a watch-along on WrestleBomb, just to shout out. If you want to stop by, feel free. But yeah, we'll be doing a watch-along. So if y'all want to join us and watch the show with us, make sure y'all tune into WrestleBomb on YouTube. Me and our new name. I'm gonna give y'all the breaking news. We are Off the Top. We'll be rebranding here soon, but right now it is WrestleBomb. So make sure y'all come check us out.
Hell yeah, WrestleBomb, Off the Top, off the chain. Ayo. It's gonna be great. And look, after you're done watching the live stream with Kenny, you can come over to youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling for the post show with me.
We'll send them over.
Hell yeah.
Send them right over to you.
There we go. As always, really appreciate you coming on. Guys, that's going to do it for us. Go follow Kenny on Twitter at KennyBomb4K, not 2K, 4K.
4K.
And then go over on youtube.com/WrestleBomb at WrestleBomb. Go subscribe. He's got some great content over there. Appreciate all of y'all. Happy wrestling to everyone. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.